Welcome to our podcast. My name is Oscar. I'll be hopefully making this an enjoyable conversation for you guys. And I'm here with my buddy Richie. So we're just going to talk about life, fun stuff, everything.
How's it going, guys?
So thanks for tuning in. So here we go. We're just going to do a little podcast, a little conversation. Hopefully you guys enjoy it a little bit.
Are you excited about it?
You know, it's kind of weird. It's I think I had mentioned to you, like a couple of years ago, someone asked me, he's like, man, you need to write a book. And I'm like, dude, I'm not that important to write a book. You know? Yeah. I was like, I don't even know. I was like, I'm a terrible, dude. If I realize I can barely spell my own name. Like if that's how, my spelling is terrible. Like I think ever since like Surrey came out, like Surrey spells it. I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. Like I'm just going to follow that.
When it came to writing a book, was it more you wanted to write the whole thing by yourself, or did you want like a ghostwriter where you just kind of had bullet points and someone just
it's kind of funny because I wanted to write it myself, to be really honest. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to write it myself and I'll just use voice text and I'll just do it that way, you know? So I was like, maybe I could just do it, you know, break it up in sections and then just like word vomit everything and then send it to someone and someone just can go ahead and like fix it, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never really got around to it. And I don't know, like you start forgetting stuff, you know?
What do you want your book to be about?
You know, so I think a lot of people don't know this. So a lot of people just think I do, you know, so for you people out there that don't really know who I am, I would say I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur. I own a couple of businesses. I do a couple of different things. And how I started was getting into real estate. So I run a family-owned business, and I think we do pretty well. And we grew from like 200 apartments. My dad already had it, and then before the bubble, we owned like 1,200 at that point.
Damn.
Yeah, it's weird.
So how'd you get into fitness then? I mean, you started in real estate and then all of a sudden get into fitness.
Yeah. So really what happened was we started in real estate, and then that 2008 bubble just freaking, I think, dude, like realistically, a lot of people lost a lot of money. You know, like they tell you like, oh, like you'll see people just like lose their shit, right? Like lose like, cause they've worked so hard to build what they've had. Right. So I think I was in that boat. Like I kind of, you know, so again, people don't know this. Like we lost like $10 million.
Jeez. So
yeah, I like lost, you know, not that I lost my shit, but I was just like, man, what did I do wrong? Right. Yeah. So I went a year or two, probably about a year, like really like trying to figure out what I did wrong, you know, because I felt like before that I was like balling. I was just like, oh, dude, this is so dope. Like I love real estate and the market's never going to crash. Like this is never going to happen. And even though I knew all the signs were coming and every instructor I had was like, oh yeah, dude, like it's going to crash anytime soon. But I didn't believe it. Like, you know, I had people like, dude, you guys went from like rags to riches. Like, this is cool. Like, you need to write a book and talk about how you got there. And then I think that's kind of what pushed me away was like the blow up of 2008. So we lost like $10 million, which most companies like will go under. We luckily were able to sustain the downfall, but it was crazy, man. It was really hard time of my life. And I had just got married. So I was like, I think like maybe 1 year in being married, like not even a year in, I was like losing my ass on everything. And
that's scary, man, because you just commit to someone right there saying, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of my life. Yeah,
like, then, hey, don't worry, like we're doing fine. And then, and then it was crazy because my wife at that time, she was in the financial world. So she worked for this large corporation called TCW. And they're still around, man. They're like a small cap value group. So she's super smart. And I remember I was like, don't know what to do with my life. I hated real estate. I was so pissed, you know, like frustrated. I was like losing so much money. And I'm like, out of nowhere, I was really bummed out. And my buddy was like, look, man, you need to start working out. Like you need to start just like kind of disengage a little bit from the real estate world. So he invited me to this like CrossFit workout. he goes, hey, dude, come and work out. And I was doing I had done Muay Thai and kickboxing, Muay Thai and Taekwondo since I was 6 years old. So 6 to I don't know, maybe 16 years old. And then I got fat. Just doing stupid stuff. I was introduced to alcohol, I think.
That's what it is.
I was like, oh man, this is great.
What was your how did you perceive CrossFit before you joined? Because a lot of people
I didn't know shit about it.
Really?
Dude, I man, I even looked it up online. It was fucking some ghetto ass pull-up bar, people doing some stupid shit. I was like, I can do that. I was like, I'm unfortunately overly confident, I think, sometimes. And I was like, I could do that. I could totally do that. So he invites me to this workout, man. So I drive all the way to Monrovia. There was only 4 CrossFits in 2008. One in Seal Beach, Brea, down not even downtown.
This is way before it blew up.
Yeah. So it was before the first CrossFit Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or either the beginning of the CrossFit Games or whatnot. But yeah. And they had a CrossFit in Santa Monica, and then they had one in Monrovia called Team CrossFit Academy. This guy named Eric McClare, good dude. He was a good dude, I fucked myself up, but he was a good dude. But so I go there. My buddy invites me, and we go out there, man. And we're I go there, and he's like, "Yeah, you get ready to work out." I was warming up. I was like, "All right, this is fucking gonna be easy." He tells me what we're gonna do. He's like, you're going to row for a minute. You're going to do some push-ups. You're going to do some box jumps. And then you're going to do I remember we're going to do wall balls. And I was like, all right, well, fuck, that seems pretty easy. And they showed me what I had to do. I was like, oh yeah, dude, it's easy as shit. They're like, all right, man, it's 3 rounds, 1 minute each round. And then you're going to partner up with this one girl. And you just got to keep up with her. She was probably fucking 12, dude. And I was 28, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I want to murder this chick, man. I was like, there's no way she's going to keep up with me. Dude,
she killed it.
No, she killed it because I couldn't even, bro, I was 3 rounds in. Not even 3 rounds, 3 stations in. I did the row, did the push-ups, I got to the box jumps. And man, I was like a freaking, a 2-year-old. I raised my hand. I was like, hey man, I need to go throw up. So I go outside. I start freaking. I look like the fucking Exorcist, just hacking it out. And then I didn't really care. I was like, all right, dude, I'm just pushing myself, dude. I'm just going ham. I go back inside. I keep going. I do the box jumps and I do the wall balls. And he's like, all right, you got a 1 minute break. And that 1 minute break, I go back outside. I freaking start throwing up again.
Oh, dude. You're that guy that started
I was that guy. I was that
at
fucking
the gym.
guy. Yeah, I was like, no, man, I'm fucking good. I'm good, dude. So I go back, and he's like, all right, man, I'm ready for round 2. And I was just like, all right, dude. I was like, I got it all out of my system. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Dude, I get off the rower. I get done with the push. I get back to the box jump, and I fucking go outside. I start throwing up again. Literally 3 times in 4 minutes. And that guy, Eric, walks up. He goes, I think you're good, man. He's like, you got nothing to prove. I was like, in my head, I was like, yeah, no, I got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
Dude. But it is what it so after that, I got hooked, man.
So from the first time you worked out in CrossFit, what was the time period from when you first worked out to when you got your first gym?
Oh man.
Was it a while, or did it happen pretty quick?
It happened. No, it was a while, man. Cause I started CrossFit so to get in shape for the wedding, I was already fat because I was partying, not partying, but just working like a freaking dog. I was just working way too much. So I wouldn't really take care of myself, So I used CrossFit to get in shape. So, and my wife hired this personal trainer. She said, I'm going to get a personal trainer. I was like, all right, I'm going to go to CrossFit. So I started going to CrossFit. I was going 3 times a week. Take me I would literally train for not train, but I'd be gone for about 3.5 hours. It could take me 45 minutes to get there, train for an hour, hang out, bullshit, and then drive back with another 4. So it was 3.5 hours of dead time that I had.
Yeah.
So so it was cool. So I would go train, whatever. But so I did that before I got married. So it was like a year. I would say probably 8 months of me working out. And then got married. So yeah, I would say 8 months of doing CrossFit. And then I got married. And then let me see. I'm just trying to think now. Yeah. So if I got married in June. Yeah. So. Wait.
Gotta remember when you got married.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, wait, I got it on my calendar, but I have to put it there because, for whatever reason, I always say June, but I want to say it was like freaking July. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
I have to save it because if not, it's gonna mess me up. So anyway, so we ended up getting married. So then, so it was I was right, June. So June 14th got married. So I didn't open up. I started looking, like my buddy was like, hey man, you're constantly driving out here, dude. And like, you just need to open up your own box. And I was like, dude, I don't want to teach people. I don't want to do this. Like, it's like, I was like, no, man, I just want to
That's crazy for someone to ask someone to say, hey, you need to go buy your own gym because you're driving too far.
Yeah, literally. That really was and he's like, you're actually pretty good. And I was like, no. And he's like, you're a fast learner. Like, you can probably teach this stuff. So I was like, I don't know, dude. So he's like, get your level 1, which is like, step 1 of CrossFit. So I was like, all right, I can go do that. So I go get my level 1, and I got my level 1 in probably, I want to say like September. So like September timeframe, I got my level 1, and there was this girl, like, I'll never forget, man. Like, it's freaking crazy. So if she hears this, she'll probably kill me. Her name was Kristen Clever.
Yeah.
She actually won the CrossFit Games like in 2009, 2010.
Oh, in the early games.
Yeah, the early games, dude. She ended up winning. And so my wife and I went to go to the CrossFit Games. It's crazy, dude. So we're there. And I was like, man, this little Asian dude is like kicking my ass, man. Like, and I was like literally just trying to keep up with her. Like, we would do workouts in the level 1 training. And I'll never forget, man. I'm surprised my wife didn't get beat up. So this girl, Kristen Clever, my wife and her are like walking kind of tandem together, and my wife goes into the bathroom, and Kristen walks in, and my wife turns around and is like, hey, this is women's only. She goes, I know. And walks in, and my wife comes back out. She's like, oh shit, that was a girl. I was like, holy shit, I thought it was like some small Asian dude. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, dude, she's going to fucking judo chop you, fucking kill you, dude. No, it was so bad, dude. It was so bad. I was like, and then like 2 years later, she was winning the CrossFit Games. I was like, oh, shit, And I told my wife, I was like, remember that girl that you thought was a dude? And she's like, yeah. I was like, hey, she just won the CrossFit Games. She's like, what the? So yeah, so we got my level 1 in like September. Got affiliated with CrossFit. So like I decided to do the affiliation. It was like in October. And then didn't technically open the doors until March of 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's when I opened the doors. And then, so it was just literally, man, it was just like friends working out. I was like, just, invited a couple friends, and then I come and work out. And my wife was like a local from City of Downey. So she's just like a local. So she would post, like, I think that's like when Facebook was like just starting or whatever.
She started posting about what you were doing.
Yeah. Well, she would work out with me, and she would help me coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was cool. So,
she's got some good knowledge about CrossFit as well then.
Yeah. I mean, not as much anymore because like she, we had kids and work and taking care of the house. So but man, she was like kind of the backbone, I was in charge of all the coaching and like managing the coaches. And then she was in charge of like, I would like write all the workouts or whatever. And, so that's kind of how we broke it up, but yeah, it was cool. So I don't know, I would say like almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. That, training, and then decided to open up like a CrossFit gym, but it was dope, man. It was dope. Like back in the day, we only had like, it was weird, man. It was like 30 of us. I had like an 800 square foot location. That was it. I made my own pull-up bar, like janky ass pull-up bar. I'm surprised no one died.
So you basically started with no equipment in a small space.
Yeah. So we bought like some barbells, and I don't even know how we got the barbells. Like we got barbells and plates. Like we just bought all this stuff from like different websites and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, we just got a bunch of stuff and just kind of made our own pull-up bar, like rig. We made all our boxes, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff. So, and then just decided to like workout. But it was like a place that it wasn't about like we were charging like $60-$80 a month to come and work out.
Oh dang.
Yeah, so it's like just come in and hang out, and we would bullshit, and I would coach, and I would work out with the class. Like it was fun. It was fun, man. It was like a different. It was like fucking no holds bars.
It's a different type of vibe.
You know what, dude? It was like fucking nobody knew what the hell we were doing, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was like there's an old video. I'll pull it up so we can post it, man. Like we posted this like old video, man, of us like me doing some snatches, and I was like, fuck. It was like 10 years ago.
Damn.
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? I was like, I'm surprised my back is still like somewhat holding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up opening up that box, but I really owe it to my buddy Caesar. Like he was like, just do it, man, just do it. I had gotten hurt a couple times at like that gym, at the gym that I went to, because I had a couple injuries. So like I had told myself, I was like, man, that's the last thing I want. Like, none of us are gonna go to the CrossFit Games, or like I just kind of thought of it that way. Like I was like, we need to use it for health, not competition.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the perspective of setting it up.
So if we fast forward to today, you have 4 gyms now.
4 gyms. We might pick up 2 more next year. I don't know. Like I'm just kind of. I think the world of fitness has changed.
Yeah.
I mean it's insane, man. Like, hopefully our next guest we can get my buddy Curious. And I love that guy, man. That guy talks about, like, me and him have these, like, long romantic fitness conversations, dude.
Cute.
No, I'm serious. Like, we're just like, oh, look at this. No, but, I mean, the dude is, I mean, we talk about fitness and we just talk about what the industry. And I think now, unfortunately, it's like, the social media has created an environment like, let's do this. And there's almost no value. I think there's almost no value for coaching anymore, because they're like, well, this guy on Instagram said that you do it this way. And
yeah. And I think fitness is in such a weird place right now because you have all these influencers who are ripped. They have abs. The girls have big butts. They have nice bodies. The guys are just shredded. And then they tell other people, hey, I have this plan, buy it, and that's how they make money. Yeah. And they get brand deals. So you have that side of fitness of like the social influencer side. And then when you buy this stuff and then you see like, oh, I have to do this all by myself. You have to go get a membership somewhere, and then you got to follow those workouts. And then you have the other side of fitness where it's like you have these classes and these transformation centers, or you have what you have like a CrossFit gym, and you kind of structure a workout for people. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, you have 2 different sides, and which one's better than the other. I mean, you're working out to begin with, but I think a lot of people are aiming for kind of like a structured based workout because for me, I mean, I'm into fitness. I love fitness. Yeah. But I don't know how to structure a workout. I can go to the gym. Yeah. And I think I've told you this before. I mean, I can go to 24-hour and just do, bench press, and I'll just do chest only. Yeah. But I won't focus on anything else because I'm like, oh, it's chest day. Yeah. Compared to when I go to a CrossFit class, I'm working out my whole body. Yeah. Yeah. And to me, I'd rather do something like that than just go and just do chest day. Yeah. Because like, one, I'm burning more calories. I'm getting a full body workout, and I feel accomplished at the end of the day instead of going to, not to throw 24 hour under the bus, but you go and you spend 2 hours there and you just did chest. Yeah. And am I that tired? Probably not. Yeah, but you know what though? Like this is what I think like my old weightlifting coach, Chris Kimura, he's out in Chicago weightlifting, and he's probably like, I've had some really good coaches, man. And like the one thing that Chris would tell me all the time, because I would watch all these like athletes, and he had at a certain point of his life, he had a really successful weightlifting gym, and I would see guys that were there like 6 months weightlifting, and I was there for like 5.5 years, almost 6 years, and like they would be like 5.5 months in, and I was there like a year, dudes like snatching like 200, 225 or so, 100 kilos, like 222. Yeah. Snatching 100 kilos. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And the one thing he told me, he goes, dude, he's like, you can't be obsessed on what they're doing because you don't know what their athletical background is. He's like, he's like, they probably played sports for forever, right? Like, you know, they played a particular sport. They played hockey. They were wrestlers. They were track runners, whatever, you know what I mean? So like, you don't know what their athletical background was in the past. So I think that is the misconception people have, right? Like, you know, what is this guy? I can't think of his name right now. Brandon. I can't think of his name right now.
I'll just say Brandon.
Yeah. So this dude Brandon weightlifted together, and the fucking guy, man, like no technique, bro. I mean, he's huge on social media now. No technique, comes in, fucking dude snatches like 225. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, here I am like trying to set up and like try to do everything right. This guy just comes in and just cranks it out, you know, and you're just like, dude, like just stupid human strength, right? And you're just, you know, again, like, hey, what'd you do? Well, he's like, he played football, or he, you know, he ran track or whatever. And I think that's what people don't know. Like these bodybuilder guys are like, you know, these physique models or whatever. I mean, they've been doing it for years, man, like years. So like their athletical strength, movement pattern, technique, explosiveness. I mean, that's like years of development. It's not like hey, let me follow this like 6-week, 9-week program and then I'm going to get there. And I think that's the problem we get at like in the fitness world, right? Like, so people come in this CrossFit world and they're like, oh, I want to be able to handstand walk. And you're like, what the, like, I was like, oh, were you a gymnast? Like back in, they're like, oh no, I've never worked out in my life. And you're like,
yeah, it's because you see these headlines that like say get shredded in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And it sounds you know, enticing because it's like, I want to, summer's coming.
Yeah.
I want to get shredded.
Yeah.
But then you do this program, then you lost weight, you look decent, but you're not shredded.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it could kind of unmotivate you to keep going. But, you know, to find that motivation to just keep going after you've seen your results after 6 weeks, then you're on track. You're on another level. Because, I mean, I was working out for a whole year last year. Okay. I dedicated myself every morning to go to the gym because I was a little heavy. I got up to 200 pounds. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot. Yeah. But for me, you could see it in my face, and it was just bad, dude. Like I was just out of shape. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna dedicate a year to fitness, and I just want to see what happens. Yeah. And I got down all the way to 174, and was I shredded? I wasn't shredded, but you could tell like I looked like I worked out. Okay. For a while. But now it's just, you know, I've been a couple months out of the gym and I'm starting to get back up and I'm like, I got to get back in the gym, dude. Yeah. But I'm not going to go and do like this 6-week get shredded thing because I know I'm not going to get shredded, but it could be a good jump start though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing though. Like, it's so much consistency. So this guy,
what's his name? Oh, Bradley Martin. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. So
not personally, but
yeah, but no. So he went to my weightlifting gym.
Oh,
this is the dude I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Like this guy's an animal. Like,
yeah,
jumping on top of cars. Like, you know, single step box jump. Like, dude, freak. Like.
For those people who don't know, Bradley Martin is a social influencer, I would say, but he is just this monster shredded dude, and he has his own gym, I believe somewhere in LA.
Yeah, so in LA.
And a lot of popular social influencers go and work out with him. He has his own YouTube channel, and he does a lot of vlogs, a lot of workout videos, and he does a lot of stuff with. Like some of the popular YouTubers as well, because he's in that world. Yeah. But his gym was like really nice. It's all the state-of-the-art equipment, and it's real nice, dude.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, this dude it's dope though, man. Like, I mean, but what a lot of people don't know is like he's like freakishly strong, like just naturally freakishly strong, you know. And you got to give him props. Like, I mean, dude, I mean, he's posted videos of him like jumping on top of a car, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like,
Yeah.
like for a guy, like, I mean, he wasn't as big as he is now. Like, he's huge now, but I mean, dude, like, I've been in the fitness world, you know, especially like doing weightlifting for now almost like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like coaching, I would say 11 years now, but I've been in fitness my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I played soccer and also all sorts of other sports, but dude, this guy, like, I mean, just super athletical strength. And what a lot of people don't know is like, I mean, you figure if he's just been working out for the past 10 years, like how much better and how much stronger he's gotten. You know what I mean? I think that's what people don't know.
It's just consistency.
For real. Well,
because one of my buddies, I told him this the other day, not the other day, probably a couple of months ago. He played football growing up, played football in high school, played in college, and, you know, he works out every day.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you know, you never take a day off. You know, why do you work out every day? He's like, I have to.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean you don't have to work out?
Yeah.
He's like, no, like if I don't work out, my day is shot, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel good. I feel like I didn't do anything. Like I have to work out.
Yeah.
And because I told him I was in this little rut of like, I just need to get to the gym. I need to get to the gym. But for you, it's a no-brainer. You wake up and you're like, if you're not at the gym, then your whole day's off.
Yeah.
Mine, if I don't go to the gym, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just scarf down some Taco Bell. But, you know, but I think coming from an, like you said, like an athletic background, it's easier for those to be like, oh yeah, I'm in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
But for someone that didn't play sports growing up and just wants to lose weight, you know, it's hard for them just to be like, oh yeah, I have to get up and I have to go.
You know, I think what I think this, right? Like people like yourself or people like myself, I think, you know, and not that we're advertising or that we're pushing CrossFit, right? Like that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is like explain though, like you go to a lot of gyms, right? And for the dollar amount you're paying, right? You need to get some coaching. Like you need to have someone like guide you and coach you. So even for yourself, right? Like coming to the gym, someone coaches you, corrects you. Instead of doing, you know, a 95-pound overhead squat, now you can do 115. That's a win. Like as a coach, like it's like, dude, I've progressively have gotten them better, right? And then it's like, as a coach, can I make them better than that? And does the athlete want to get better? Because there's some people that just, hey man, like I get that all the time. Like, hey man, like I'm not trying to get jacked, or like girls come in like, oh, I'm not trying to get jacked. Like, I don't want to look like those CrossFit girls or whatever. Right? I just want to be in shape. It's like, well, you know, I always joke around like, well, round is a shape, right? Like, yeah, round's a shape. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just a matter of like, hey man, like we're like, we got to be able to teach you, but you got to do the work. And what drives me insane, and I hate this because I see it all the time. So people come in and you know, we only have them for an hour a day, if that, right? You're on your own for those other 23 hours in the day. So they come into a CrossFit gym, a spin studio, whatever. They go to a bunch of different gyms, and what ends up happening? They start saying, they're just like, oh man, I'm not seeing results. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, I have you for an hour.
Well, the big part of fitness too is nutrition. I mean,
well, yeah,
when you're there for an hour, you know, working out's easy.
Yeah,
that's the easy part.
Well, that's the easiest part. Yeah.
You know, nutrition is the biggest key. So I think if you're not seeing results, it's not because working out is probably your nutrition, but I mean,
well, 80% of your fitness is nutrition, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like there's no freaking way you can outwork a bad diet. Like, I don't like, but okay, but this is the thing though, right? So on the flip side, like most people don't know what they want. Right? So most people don't know what they want. So what ends up happening, they start saying, well, I want to get in shape. It's like, well, what kind of shape? Like, do you want to get like an athlete shape? Do you want to get skinny? Do you want to get bigger? Like, what are you trying to do? You know, even if we ask them that, most people don't know.
Yeah.
They're just like, I have no clue. Like, I just
want a nice butt and I want to be skinny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or whatever. Right. So it's just like, you know, if that's what you're trying to accomplish, like, you know, this guy we were just talking about, like, dude, this guy's not eating 2,000 calories a day. Like,
oh no, I think the way he's working out, he's scarfing down at least 5 to 7 calories a day.
Yeah.
But for the average person, that's not healthy at all.
Exactly. For the average person, like we would just, And then not only that, like he's probably eating the better stuff. He's eating the quality product. You know, he's not scarfing down McDonald's. Even, I mean, there's a power lifter that every time he trains, like he's eating McDonald's. Like that's, I mean, and he's like a world-renowned power lifter. And like he'll push down like 2 hamburgers, like nobody else's business, you know, to make it easy. But that's what people don't know, right? Like they come in like, you know, I've gained this weight. It's like, okay, well, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to lose 10 pounds. I was like, dude, you don't even have to sign up to the gym to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah, just fix your eating.
Yeah, fix your eating. Yeah. So like even for like for our gyms, like what we do is like if someone comes in and goes, hey, I just want to lose 10 pounds, we just tell them straight up like, hey, if you want to lose 10 pounds, like you could just, you know, you can go running. You just, you know, drink more water, like, and you'll lose the 10 pounds. Like, it's really not that hard. It's the whole lifestyle change is what's hard.
Yeah, I think if you're going to get into fitness, it's definitely a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
But I mean, for my dad, you know, wants to lose weight. He doesn't go to the gym. He runs, he changes his diet, and he loses 10 to 15 pounds. I mean, you don't need any type of gym. You just need to watch your eating and just walk. Yeah. Now, and probably run a little bit. But I think if you want, like you said, you want that athletic body, you want to take it to the next level, then that's where, you know, going to like a gym or like a transformation center or like you said, even doing CrossFit. I think going to those places will get you to that next level. And I mean, it's also a good starting point as well. You know, I mean, when I worked out for that full year, I got into fitness like heavy. Yeah. I was like, oh, I want to go on the CrossFit games. I want to be able to do that. Like I want to compete. But then when I did CrossFit for the first time, it was like, whoa, this is another level of fitness. Yeah. But it was that notion of, you know, when you watch the CrossFit games, it's like, this is intense. You know, they show the workouts, I mean, from the documentary. But when you do a class, you know, I'll tell you about my experience. You know, because I got introduced to you through my best friend, his wife, Nick. Mm-hmm. And it was, I think before we started working together, you said, try it out. Yeah. I was like, okay. And at the time I had been working out a little bit, but, you know, I was like, I got it. They could just run, you lift a little bit. Like, this is easy. I've done stuff like this before. And then after the first workout, I was like, oh, shit, this is no joke. Like, this is way different from what I have been training before. Yeah. And the simplest forms, dude, I couldn't do. It was the simplest things. My form was off, and it's
humbling.
It's kind of humbling because now it gave me I had to take a step back and be like, wow, like this is the next level. If I want to be in that have that athletic body. Yeah. You know, now I need to rethink about it and be like, okay, do I really want this? Am I going to compete? No. Do I want to make it a lifestyle? Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but I like it.
Yeah. But, you know, that's the thing though, right? Like even coming in and getting a workout in, like, I think one of the positive things is like about even any fitness gym, but primarily in the CrossFit gym is like, we're community heavy. Like just, you know, you're there with your friends, you're bullshitting with them, you're talking shit to each other. You know, it's kind of, and I think that was the biggest attraction for me for CrossFit because I was always in, call it like high school sports, college sports. I mean, like even in elementary school, I was on a team. I was a team captain, you know, whatever. Like I was always in sports. So when you graduate from college, you're just like, fuck, now what? Yeah. You know, like recreation ball, like you're going to go to the park. You're playing with dudes that you don't really know. Like, you don't know who you can count on. The shit talking happens. Like, I think that's where that happens. I think that's where it comes across. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, most of my friends live like in Montebello and Alhambra, Pasadena areas. Like, that's where most of my friends, and I lived out, you know, in freaking Downey. So ain't nobody going to come out here, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So it was different, you know? So to find something that was like kind of like a team, you know, made a difference. Cause I felt like even though we were working out independently, we were still together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and that made a freaking world of a difference.
It's funny you say that because I was just talking to my girlfriend's mom before we came here to record, and she works out at another gym in Downey, and the one thing that she said that she liked about it was she felt like she was part of a family, and that she's made friends. You know, not that they hang out all the time, but the fact that she feels comfortable to go and like get down and dirty with the weights, like it shows a lot. And I think that's one thing that I saw when I started working with you was the atmosphere and culture that was in the gym. It was pretty amazing, you know, to see people that were just like coming, giving you hugs, high fives, telling you their new PR records. And you know, I think when you find that in a gym, it's easy just to come back because you want to see your friends. You're getting that workout in. You feel good at the end of the day. I mean, you just got to find that niche in that gym, because I think if you go to a gym by yourself, like, you know, like Crunch or LA Fitness, like you're going by yourself. You know, I mean, you could go with your friend and you're kind of just, you know, no one's pushing you either. You know, you have to find that self motivation.
You know, like it's crazy, man, because like you don't realize how strong communities can get. So it's just weird. So like in the past 10 years, I can probably say that there's anywhere between 10 and 15 people that met at CrossFit and got married.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even my wife's cousin met her husband at CrossFit. It's nuts, right? Like, like, I mean, that's how like tight everyone gets. Like everyone you know what I mean? Like it's cool, dude. Like, so you start seeing people as like friends and family, and like you start really seeing it that way. It's kind of weird because at first when I started, I was like really involved with everyone, and then I had to kind of step back a little bit, which it was really hard for me to do that, but I almost had to, because it was like we had like, I don't know, like 200 members. And then at one point I had 2 gyms like a couple years ago, and I don't know, we had like 300, 400 members or whatever. But dude, like it was crazy because they would all invite you. Someone would always invite you to like a quinceañera, a birthday, you know, going out. Like, so every like Friday, Saturday, me and my wife were out like with CrossFitters, like just hanging out. And I told him, I was like, dude, like,
you gotta slow down.
Yeah, I gotta slow down, dude. Like, I was like, I can't keep going out every Friday and Saturday with like different members. You know what I mean? And it was just not that it got weird, but kind of, right? Like, then I almost had to like pick and choose, and then I was like, I can't do that either, because I was like, you know, one guy would invite you to his birthday party, and then the following week another guy would invite you to the birthday party, but you wouldn't go. So then it was like, well, why didn't you go? You went to so-and-so's party, but you didn't come to mine. And I was like, oh, fuck. So,
and I think that's hard too as a gym owner, because you want to get in with your clients. You want to get to know them. You want all of them to reach their goals. You know, and I think to get involved with them too, on a personal level, try to hang out with them outside the gym. Like, that's cool. And I think that's something they'll tell their friends, like, hey, you know, he hangs out with us. That'll get more people to come, because they were like that atmosphere of everybody's getting along. And I think for me, I'm always shy when it comes to going to new places by myself, because, you know, it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable feeling, especially if you don't know anybody. And, you know, going with you to all of your gyms, you feel that welcomeness. You know? Try. I mean, I went to your gym in Los Alamitos, and I went by myself to go take pictures, and I met Gabby. And she was joking, she was having fun, and like she was very inviting. Made me feel more comfortable to just go and shoot, especially from not knowing anybody. And even going to, you know, the one in Southgate, you know, Victor, you know, talking to him, he was really cool. And even the one in Anaheim, Devin, I mean, she has been hitting me up saying, hey, when are you going to come take pictures? She hit me up this morning. She's like, hey, you know, this class isn't probably going to be the best to come take pictures, but come tomorrow. And I think that's cool, because these people, you know, they trust you. So they kind of automatically trust me with what I'm doing. So it kind of makes it feel a little bit more better to be like, oh, I don't have to be shy about going. I'm just going to go show up, do my thing, because people are going to know who I am. But I think it's still, and I think that's the culture that you've built
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, it's hard, but like at the end of the day, you can't do it without your coaches, man. Like, so you hope that you get the right people, you know, to help you, because that the business of like managing coaches, man, like that's so like one of the hardest parts is it's not just managing coaches, is managing coaches' personalities to see where it fits.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's fucking hard, man.
Do you feel like you try to hire coaches based on the people you kind of get along with, or if they're just knowledgeable?
No,
and
I mean,
personable,
dude, keeping it real, man. There's some coaches that we just don't click. Like we just don't gel, but they're really good coaches and they're good people, you know. And I don't think I get along with everyone. That's just like the way, you know, I think it's just human nature, right? But like, dude, like you have to kind of analyze like what the crowd feeds off of, what they like, what they don't like. You know what I mean?
And it's kind of different too, because you have 4 gyms in obviously 4 different cities that have different demographics, which is so now you have to get coaches that's kind of gonna fit, you know, in that area or in that city, and that can be difficult, you know.
I think that's the hardest learning curve, is like figuring out what's a good what makes the vibe work, right? I think that's the hardest part, you know what I mean? And then what works in the area, what doesn't work. Like, you know, you don't ever want to be known as like the discount gym, or you don't want to be known as like the gym that has like shitty coaches. Like, you don't ever want to be known for that, because I think that just, even you can be the most knowledgeable coach, right? And then, you know, if no one's even willing to give you a chance because they're just like, well, that location sucks, or that building sucks, or, you know, whatever, like it's hard, man. It becomes like, I mean, it just becomes a challenging environment, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know? And I think going back to, like you said, building a community within your gyms. I remember talking to Victor, and he goes, you know, it's not about fitness, it's about building a community. Yeah. And then going to Los Alamitos, you know, seeing that gym, they were having they were putting down what they were bringing for the Halloween party. Yeah. And you could tell that they're like right there, it's that tight community of we can't wait. We work out, but, you know, we're also friends too. We also, you know, we can't wait to party. Yeah. And then even going, and then Anaheim, you know, I haven't spent too much time in Anaheim, but, you know, after going to that one and just talking, you know, with the people there, you could tell like it's very tight. Yeah, it's just a vibe, and I think that's the biggest thing, is like most of the time you end up doing this like for the long run. So I think what ends up happening is you just kind of focus on what you can work on at the moment and what you can fix at the moment. And I think if you can worry about that and then improve it from there, instead of what most people think, like they have this like foreseen outlook and like, I need to get there. But the problem is that in order to get there, they don't know what the problems are to begin with. You know, so you got to, I don't know. I just think you got to fix and understand what you have. And you can't learn that. Like I've had like Anaheim, like I've had it for a year, right? And it's steady growing, but it hasn't grown like substantially, right? But you've gotten to the point that you're just like, okay, like I see what the problems are. Things are better now, or, you know, things were going in a not so positive direction, right? And so you work on what's the problem, let's fix it, and then keep steadily moving. Like I've had Downey for 10 years. Damn. You know, like 11 now. It's like almost 11 now. So like, dude, that culture has been like groomed, and it's like designed, you know what I mean? Like, it just takes a long time. And it's the same thing for like all the other gyms. Like they've had their own culture, and now I'm like stepping in, right? And then it's like, oh, how do I adjust it? And I think that's how like even big corporations, right? Like you have like LA Fitness or Crunch or, you know, Planet Fitness. They go somewhere and they use their cookie cutter platform, they drop it in, and then hopefully let the culture and the people that are attracted to it just come to it, you know? So that's what I mean, just a different perspective, you know? No, I get you. So with this podcast, you know, we plan on giving people advice, you know, give them knowledge about fitness. And like you said, we're going to have guests. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm behind the scenes, so it won't necessarily be me, but I think when we don't have a guest, it'll just be us two. Yeah. And then, but yeah, what do you think of the first podcast? I think it's dope, man. I think
I really think that we're going to be able to give, and not just fitness, right? But I mean, I think just advice and
No,
everything.
yeah, we're going to be talking about fitness. We'll talk about life, talk about, how to run a business, how to manage a business, just everything. I think this podcast is more about, like you said, a lifestyle than it is about, but also, incorporating fitness into it.
Yeah.
How fitness can go into also, running a business.
Dude, but fitness, I think they say this all the time, like the guys that wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go work out, the same guys that wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it goes hand in hand personally,
Yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions on topics, let us know. Leave a comment, and we'll get to it and we'll talk about it. We'll also have certain guests for certain topics that you guys put. And we just hope you guys really enjoy this podcast and this journey. We're just going to see how it goes.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Peace out.